Okay, welcome to Unboxing Sunday, where I get these boxes and I have zero clue what's in them. Absolutely no clue. Other people do videos on YouTube and people have sent them stuff. They know what's in them. Maybe they've got a list out there on Amazon, someone sends them a gift, or they've ordered something and they've pre-ordered something. They know what's in the box. They have a reasonable idea. Zero here. Absolutely zero. I get these books, these boxes, and I don't know what's in them till I open them. And then we do a video, and then we distribute to charities. We don't. 99% of these books we don't keep. They go out to charities, to local charities. We have 4 charities that we distribute to every week. But I like to do the videos. I like to be surprised. I like to see what's in these boxes. So I thought I'd share. This is I think, don't hold me to it, I think it's a box of biography. Sort of, kind of, around there. Iffy. So let's get to it. Alright. Mazine Dennis Max Smith. Don't know. Never heard of him. Giuseppe Mazzini was one of the outstanding figures in political history of the 19th century. Dennis Max Smith's major new account re-examines Mazzini's ideological impact and his place in the political and intellectual world of the mid-19th century. Football! I got that one. As long as football is played, Joe Montana will be synonymous with the heart-pounding rally, seemingly impervious to the pressure of scoreboard deficit. The quarterback, known as Joe Cool, brought a steady calm to every huddle, especially when the situation seemed especially dire. His reputation for miracles began to take root at the University of Notre Dame in 1979 Cotton Bowl. He overcame the flu, hypothermia, and a 22-point deficit to lead the Fighting Irish to a stunning victory over Houston. This narrative continued in the NFL as he engineered 31 fourth-quarter comebacks, including victories known in the professional football lore as the catch, the drive, forever casting his career in a heroic glow. There's some other guys now. The brothers that are doing stuff like this. I don't remember their names right off the top of my head. But there are some brothers that are doing stuff like that. Positive, PAIGE, RAWL, Surviving Bullies, Finding Hope, and Changing the World. My story is not an unhappy one. It has painful memories, that's the truth. I had to fight, but on the other side of the hard times are far better ones. The more I talk to other people, it turns out many of us have struggled more than I would have guessed. The more I know that the journey like mine leads to something much, much better. When pain clears, and it does, it absolutely does, powerful things rush in to fill the empty spaces left behind. That's when your heart, every nook and cranny, fills with things you wouldn't have found any other way. Smoke! Smokey! What are you screaming for? You know where I am. I know him, don't we? We know him, right? Someplace? James Carville. It has been said that if you want a friend in Washington, you should buy a dog. Unfortunately, there's some truth to that. There are few places in the world where the turncoats and careerists are so highly rewarded and where loyalty is equated with stupidity. Luckily, another bit of wisdom about the Beltway is also true. The people in Washington aren't like the ones in the rest of the country. The Americans people treasure loyalty. They stick by a friend when he needs them. They forgive him when he's wrong. They understand the difference between politics and friendships. They are true to their ideals, their schools, their loyalty to God, and their families. Oh, that's where we've seen him. He does politics stuff. Sherry's song. She's happily married her high school sweetheart and living her happily ever after. But 5 years into their marriage, the fairy tale ended. Paul, her husband, lost his job and remains unemployed. They have lost everything except each other. Yes, ma'am. What do you want? I gotta put the books down if I'm gonna pick you up. I've got all these books in my... What? I am marriage. I am O'Farrell. I am. I guess. #1 bestseller in Britain, O'Farrell takes up a bow and arrow and aims at the human heart. Maggie O'Farrell's astonishing memoir of the near-death experience that have punctuated her life. The childhood illness she was not expected to survive, a teenage journey to escape the nearly ended in disaster, terrifying encounter in the remote path, a mismanaged labor in an understaffed hospital, and the most terrifying of all, an ongoing daily struggle to protect her daughter. Yes, ma'am. I need a new box. My journey out of the ashes to a hope of life. Christian Meredith. Born into a large working-class family upstate New York, Christina Meredith endures years of abuse before entering the foster care system as a teenager. With nowhere to turn after she graduated from high school, Christina lived in a car for most of the year, working 3 jobs to survive. After she read the Bible in a car every day, Christina had no idea that in just a few years she would be crowned Miss California. No idea that her suffering life would one day help others find healing. Okay. Undaunted, Josh Dowell. There's a saying that childhood is the most beautiful of life's seasons, and so it should be, but that wasn't for Josh McDowell. He was born to an alcoholic father who showed him no love, who valued him only as a farmhand. He endured years of painful abuse. Josh's mother loved him but was unable to rescue him. In the midst of circumstances no child should have to suffer. Ugh. Yes, ma'am. The here right matters. 0900 Thursday, July 29, 2019. Donald Trump called Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky supposedly to congratulate him on his recent victory. In the months that followed, the American public would learn what happened on the call only because Alexander Vidinity felt duty-bound to report it to the chain of command. Oh, I forgot about that. And with all the stuff going on right now, we'll just let it go. Oh, good God. Crown Princess of Denmark. When Mary Donaldson married her prince on 14 May 2014, she became more than Mary, Crown Prince of Denmark. For Australians, she was the embodiment of a modern fairy tale. Late to the ball, Jared Morosi. Begin in your early 60s is different from how it was a generation or two ago, at least for the fortunate of us. We aren't old yet, but we sense it's coming. Careers are winding down, kids are gone, parents are dying, and our bodies are no longer youthful or even middle-aged. Learning to play tennis in your 50s is no small feat. Becoming serious competitive tennis player after you've turned 60 is a whole different matter. Okay. June Melby, My Family and Other Hazards. June Melby was 40 years old and living in Los Angeles when her parents phoned to tell her the terrible news. After 30 years, they were selling her childhood home back in Wisconsin. What happened to include a miniature golf course. Growing up in the middle of 3 sisters, she hated being stuck in Tom Thumb, waiting on the half-naked tourists who wandered through the yard or whooped it up on the course. But while her family worked unable to take a vacation themselves or make a profit, she fled as soon as she could, running off to pursue dreams of her own. But now that they're trying to sell it, I think she's changed her tune. Uh, Committed. Dan Matthews. Bold, offbeat, globe-trotting memoir that shows how the most ridiculed punching bag in high school become an international renowned crusader for the most downtrodden individuals of all animals. Minding the Matter, the memoir of a 1930 English kitchen maid. Born in 1916, Norfolk, England, Mollie Moran is one of the few people still alive today you can recall working downstairs. In the early 1930s, before the outbreak of World War II, she provided a rare and fascinating insight into a world that has long since vanished. Mollie left school at 14 and became a scullery maid for a wealthy gentleman with a mansion in London's Knightsbridge and Tudor Manor in Norfolk. Leadership the Eleanor Roosevelt way. And there's a sticker over. Oh, I hate these stickers. Ah, and this one's so old it took the book. So, Eleanor's story. A Mysterious Life and Calling, From Slavery to Ministry in South Carolina. Preacher, teacher, and postmistress Charlotte Levy's Riley was born into slavery but became a popular evangelist after emancipation. Okay. Deborah Rodriguez, Margarita Wednesday. An irreverent and irresistible new memoir that picks up where New York bestseller Cow Beauty School left off. Deborah Rodriguez invites readers along for the ride as she reinvents her life in a Mexican seaside town. Ah, I got a blood vista from this box. I hope it doesn't. It got caught in the thing in it. Pinched really bad. Oh, this is heavy. It's heavy. It's thick. And its spine is clean. So I would hazard a guess that no one has read this book. 700 plus pages. I have no idea who Cheever is. Do you know who Cheever is? I have no idea. Blake Bailey, acclaimed biography, tells the story of the unforgettable life of John Cheever, a proud Yankee who flaunted his lineage while deploring the provincialism of his family circle. A struggling alcoholic and conflicted bisexual who spent most of his career impersonating a perfect suburban gentleman. Okay. Never heard of him. Charles Spencer, A Very Private School. In his courageous and beautifully written memoir, Spencer offers a clear-eyed first-hand account of the strange secrets of the school, the culture, and cruelty and abuse he experienced in his first 5 years as a pupil. Okay. Elena vanishing. I change into my work clothes and go to the gym. I turn up the music and run on the treadmill till everything feels worse than feels better. You didn't get rid of it all, says the voice in my head. You're getting fat right this minute. You can't exercise away those kind of calories. I make myself do another half hour on the treadmill. What happened the afternoon wasn't a breakdown. My willpower was still there. Okay, I don't get it. These books are heavy. Alright, let's see. Oh! He was the announcer in the 70s or 80s. He was the baseball announcer, wasn't he? I think. Maybe. Uh, Readers have delved into one of the greatest defensive shortstop in the history of the game. A five-time All-Star, he named 1950 American Most Valuable Player and helped the Yankees win 7 World Series titles during his 13-year career. Rizzuto played in more games than any other Yankee during that period and was anchor of an unparalleled sports dynasty. I'm positive he was one of the broadcasters for the show. Edward M. Kennedy. And it's got the good paper. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's got the good paper, the thicker paper. It's also been ripped. But it's the story of Edward Kennedy. Zero regrets. Be greater than yesterday. I have no idea who this is. 9 days after dropping off, Dad came to pick me up. In the call from the payphone, I hadn't said anything to him about what decision I had made. On the car ride back, I told him, I want to try this. Are you willing to put forth a true effort from the bone? I told my father I want to skate. So he's a hockey player? Keith Morris. My story of a punk rock survivor. Keith Morris is a true punk icon. No one embodies the sound of Southern California hardcore the way he does. Okay. Vincente Minnelli. Any relation to Eliza? Minnelli began his illustrious career as an innovative set and costume designer in New York. Then he became an art director for Radio City Music Hall and then the Ziegfeld Follies, etc. Okay. Oh good God, this is heavy. This is very heavy. On his own terms, A Life of Nelson Rockefeller. This is heavy. Must weigh a couple pounds, at least 2 or 3 pounds. Has to be. And the print! It's microscopic! So anybody that reads this book, you might want to do it in the audiobook if you're gonna read it, because it's just way too effing heavy for anybody to handle. It is massively heavy. Absolutely effing heavy. Lord have mercy. The Courage to be Free. Ron DeSantis. And Too Much is Not Enough. A memoir of fumbling toward adulthood. Andrew Wynn. I have no idea. I have zero idea who this is. When Andrew and Alice left Nebraska for New York City in 1997, he, like many young hopefuls, saw the city as a chance to break free. Oh, he was in Hairspray. Don't know. That's the end of this box. Have a good Sunday.